Alright, what's poppin' YouTube? I'm gonna do a quick video here. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Um, Again, these are the main assets classes that we basically monitor and then look to top-down approach. I am trying to slow things down more in 26, just so then I could process things and then share more um, as well, and then follow back up post-mortem, etc. on uh, any ideas or price paths that we put out. So here's the SPY. We got a lot of drama going on, of course, never ending. Um, with the tariffs Tuesday, SCOTUS could say tariffs are illegal. That could create some volatility. And then you have Trump doing the Greenland thing. It's either Greenland gets taken over by the Chinese or America. So one or the other. Um, but you can see we're still making lower highs. We cannot break out here on the SPY. Um, and as you can see as well, the volume is coming in higher than this yellow line on red days, where the green days the volume isn't as strong, which maybe means something, maybe it doesn't. I do use volume in my trading. And then lastly, again, the momentum is just not supporting here. We have the momentum made a high here. We have price that made a new high from this high. We have price that made another new high here, but guess what momentum did? Made a lower high. So this is called, again, divergence. I think I've covered this before. So momentum going down. We have volume that was up. It tapered, of course, through the holidays, and now is picking back up with the new year. But you can see as of late, all the bigger volume bars have been on red bars, fatter bars as well. These are volume bars that show the volume. And again, they're on down days, or when the markets, have a red day relative to a green day. Does it mean anything? Maybe it does. We'll see. But I am going into this week still with some short delta on the equities. I believe SPY is going to pull back here. And if it doesn't, we can go ahead and get long something like SPHQ if that is the case. Because if we're going to rally, quality names will go higher. You can see this had a big high here, but this could have been people unwinding. You don't know yet. Because just like SPY, you can see this is high quality names, high quality beta. Also making lower highs here as prices made new highs. So again, there's a divergence. A lot of patterns also in this market have this pattern type going. This is called a rising wedge type pattern. You can draw it different ways. You can draw it from here. It doesn't really matter per se. You want to have your lines connect. So you could see that this is called a rising wedge. When this pattern usually plays out, it will retrace 100% of the move. So if this starts to exhaust, get below these moving averages, those are step one. It has to get below these moving averages. But if it does, then that opens up the door for a retest of the April lows. Or as I said in a few different chats I'm in on Substack, WhatsApp, I think price needs to get back to this 50% or 38.2 at least to have, a meaningful pullback, not a huge correction, bear market, blah, 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 just enough to shake out the weak hands, put in a higher low right around here, essentially, and then buyers come in and then we make another leg higher. And then all wheels fall off, probably later 26, early 27, but we'll cross that bridge when that happens. So again, SPY, I like this week bearish. I don't know which names I'm going to individually try to short or buy puts on or day trade. I'll try to cover that on tomorrow's video, even though tomorrow's a holiday with MLK. Emerging markets. If the dollar stays strong, this should pull back, which I do have the dollar next here. But emerging markets, have been going up, which again, this is mostly China, which they're bullish. Now, the sleeper play could be bonds here. If this breaks out again, it's a growth scare. If this drops, it's an inflation scare. TBT is an inverse correlated. This is basically long yields. And yields look like they want to go higher per this pattern. It's basing, making higher lows, and looks like it may want to break out. If this happens, then TLT will go down. And then bonds will go down, which means yields will be going up. So then you'll have interest rates going up on the front end of the curve, which the Fed can control and manipulate. And then you'll have the yields going up on the back end of the curve, which is basically ran by the bond traders, smartest traders in the room, essentially. And they basically called Trump's bluff back here on Liberation Day. And we'll see what they're going to do Um, where was that at? Oh, right through here, basically. Um, but now they're still in this range. So we're going to see where it's at. I mean, bonds are right at the fairest price to do business. If you followed me for a while or watched these videos, you know I also use volume profile. It just gives you a profile of where the most volume is traded over a snapshot. I like to start with the 12-month or 1 year. So the fairest price to do business on TLT over the past year is right where it's at now, basically. 87, 88 handle uh, is where it is. So when you have price here loitering, usually it's going to go away from this and trend. Up or down, we don't know. That's what we're waiting to see based off what we get on the fucking geopolitical front. UUP, do not sleep on that dollar. This is the dollar, which looks like it could be also breaking out too. Many people were short this, um, the dollar, and they still are. We'll see. It still may be the right trade, but this tried to rally. Um, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at a weekly. My bad. Um, the dollar tried to rally. Um, where was it at? All through here, and then pulled back, tried to go higher, and then it started to stage a rally in September, and then got denied right around Thanksgiving week and pulled back, which thought was going to be the descent. But now we have the moving averages crossing up, and we have the buy signal. So now the dollar is back to having a near-term bullish bias. Until it gets back under these lines and crosses red and prints that sell signal like there. It's you gotta just follow, what it is the signals and what have you. Gold, I am short a lot of gold because I think it's due to correct, and also silver while we're at it. And I am shorting early for sure, but I'm also shorting small because of that, anticipating for it to go higher. And as it goes higher, I just add a little bit amounts. It's not always recommended, but if you do it with your size in check, it's not a bad trade or a bad bet, because this is due to retrace, for sure. Just like I mentioned about how price trades over a 12-month period, if we go look at a 1 year period, look where the fairest price to do business on silver has been, around the $30, $31 area. Look where it's at. It's almost up triple. So the price has gone up, but the volume bar and the volume has not migrated with price. That means it's very thin volume up here. So, just as quick as it went up, it can pull back and correct as well. But we shall see. Especially if the dollar stays strong, like we've discussed, then gold and silver are going to take it on the chin. I am long and been long. I put YouTube videos out on this and shorts, Bitcoin, and I've had some swings here, as it's danced around. But also, what's going to happen with Bitcoin? Is this predicated off the Qs? Is this predicated off the dollar? We don't know. But Bitcoin also crossed up and has the green paint and is, making higher highs and higher lows, which is another bullish signal on an asset. But like we've discussed, the fairest price to do business on Bitcoin is right back here. So it held its VPOC there, essentially, and this could shift based again on the time frame. So it's right there and held its VPOC or POC, and now making again, trying to catapult off that. So we'll see if we start to get more strength in cryptos or what have you, or not. USO, this is another long, and I'm looking for it to do this pattern where it kind of already did some of it. Where I drew this before this happened. I drew, not that I care, I don't have a crystal ball. It's just to give me context and, reference points. So we had a low, it tried to break lower, we put a higher low. We have the moving averages cross up, we have a new high, and again, now we're basing off the fast moving averages. So this should yield higher prices like I have drawn, but we shall see. If oil also goes up, that's going to be very bad for folks in America, because that's basically what saved them, is low energy prices, because groceries are still through the roof, rents and housing are through the roof. People don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but somehow that is bullish. And consumer sentiment out of Michigan is like the worst it's been, and I think it continues to trend down, but the market ignores all that. So we'll see, but I do like oil higher. I also like UNG higher. I'm down a bit on this because I've been buying all through here as it drops. But again, size is in check, and we're going to get into the colder months and all the other data center shit. All that requires energy. Where are they going to get it from? Nat gas is one of them. Also, stocks that are in play or have been in play, but will continue is things like uranium. So uranium is one I'm long and going to continue to build on. Same thing as an energy shortage, whatever data center, whatever type play that we're going to get. So again, these are the main assets I'm going to look to try to cover, and then branch off these in the videos, and then also overlay some other videos with random analysis and random trade ideas, and then try to bring in some of my portfolio to try to track and monitor that, and share that and trade that as well. The account will probably be one of the like a $25,000 account, so I could do some day trades or what have you. And share. So maybe someone only has a 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000, but you could still benefit by doing fraction shares. Obviously, you can't exit, intraday. You only could do that three times a week on a 5-day rolling period if you don't have a 25K or plus in your account. Lastly, we'll cover DBA. This is a commodities ETF, which I basically track, which gives you context on another form of inflation. Are commodities going up or down? And this will usually move like the oil, the opposite of the dollar. Same with gold, but nothing's perfect. So we shall see. You can see commodities got all the way up here, tried to break out above here, and then just faked people out, fell back into rage. But now they're making higher lows. The volume, of course, is pending here and turning up. The volume made a higher low too. So that supports it, but right now near-term momentum is weak. So this is a mixed bag. If we get a breakout of any one of these, we'll update it accordingly, and then maybe have a trade, or again we can dive down into individual names, such as wheat, which looks like it may be ready to pop up here. So that could be longs on the radar, like I already have. We have corn here. Everybody loves them some corn, right? Where is the corn? Right here. Corn, not as strong as wheat here, breaking down, but you could see corn tried to break out multiple times. So it got denied here, but once it gets above this, look at all that blank open space. So again, do not sleep on agriculture or commodities. Let's look at soybeans. Also, soybeans tried to break out and got denied. But again, it's holding all these lows. Right here, this low is higher. We even got a double bottom low here, which is a bullish sign and supports that they're buying this area. So soybeans should catch bids, continue to catch bids. If it gets back under here, all bets are off, reevaluate. But now you want to start buying here or what have you, for example, front running. But really you'd like to wait for the buy signal to print and the green paint and the quicker moving averages to cross, because that gives you more conviction, I guess, based off, how price moves with the indicators. But anyways, and you can see quite a bit of volume came in here on this day. So I don't know what the hell happened there on December 11th, but that is a big ass bar on this. This isn't highly traded, but again, that's a lot of volume entering the market. And then you can see it double bottomed almost here on the momentum. So, momentum is leading price here. So again, doesn't mean anything, but this should continue higher. Let me check out cane, some sugar, and sugar as well. I'm going to set an alert. So commodities could be in play. So again, we have to see what happens this week. I'm going to try to do again, at least 2 to 3 videos a week. A Monday type update, beginning of a week, how the week is going, and then how the week is ending, or like a weekend review type deal. But yeah, anyone has any tips, tricks, suggestions, holla. But we'll see what we're going to get. But it looks like it's going to be some volatility to start the week, and we'll see if that continues in 6 p.m. tonight. The futures open. Monday we're closed for MLK Day, and then we'll see what Tuesday looks like. But I'm anticipating and expecting some volatility. Let's go look at the VIX. The VIX is also off its mean and holding and basing, and you could see it's breaking out here higher on the momentum as well. VIX, people say may not take too technical, but we can check out the VXX, a bit more technical. same type setup where look at the volume coming in here since the beginning of the year, January 14th, big ass volume, gap up, so people are starting to buy longer term volatility, anticipating future downside in the markets and sustained maybe volatility longer because this is like looks at a longer dated, I think, sequence of volatility relative to the VIX, which is like 30 days. But you can look at like VIX 1 year vol. So this is, basically, off its lows, closed, shaved top. This is called the shaved candle close, where it's closed at the top of the candle, which is, in this context is obviously very bullish. If it's the opposite, it's very bearish. So again, you have price divergence here. So price made a new low while the momentum made a higher low. So just like I showed you on the equities and things that you go up, that could ring true on the volatility products as well. The move index, let me see if this charts. The move index